Hello everyone, my name is Randy and today we're going to be taking on a new mini-series, and that involves me playing RuneScape Classic. But what is this series specifically? Well, I want to take on RuneScape Classic at the lowest combat possible, and that includes doing every quest calculated to a T at the very lowest level. And this is going to be difficult because the calculations in quests inside RuneScape Classic are completely different to those inside of old school RuneScape when looking at the quest reward XP. Also, all levels are boostable when looking at the quest requirements. And this will basically force me to look at the quest reward XP, which has a multiplier, and organize the quests in order of which to do first. As well, I'll be having to gather most of my supplies by myself, as I'm going to be playing on a very inactive server known as RSC Preservation, which is a 1-to-1 ratio dedicated open source server to making RuneScape Classic possible after the initial shutdown of 2018. And when I say 1-to-1 ratio, I mean everything. Even the bugs are added to this server. For example, in RuneScape Classic, you could wield poisoned weapons without the attack and range requirements, but the non-poisoned variants of these weapons did have the requirements on them. So there's little bugs like that all throughout RSC, and if you know me, you know I love these bugs, and it's going to help us in our quest to complete, well, all the quests in this entire game at the lowest possible combat level. Also, guess what? I love capes, if you know me. I love fire capes, I love any cape. It's a symbol of achievement, and if you complete all the quests in this game, that exactly gets you to the quest point requirement for Legends Quest and allows you to complete Legends Quest, which therefore you can wield the Legends Cape, the best cape in the entire game, and that means I'll be wielding it at the lowest possible level. I plan on doing most of this blind, looking at the wiki from time to time, but mainly not getting a bunch of help from outside sources, as there are some very dedicated members of this community who know a bunch. So you might be thinking, this is going to be easy for me. Well, no. First of all, I haven't played this since 2005, and I'm going to be very rusty. There's just a few minor things I can remember from this version of the game. It is the very first version of RuneScape, and it shut down in 2018. People transferred their characters in 2003 to the RS2 beta, but me, I went back in 2005 and played it as a noob. Apart from a personal level of not having much experience here, there is a lot that is going to be different, and that is the combat level calculation is completely different in this game. Magic adds to your combat no matter what, just a little bit, the same amount as prayer. There's other things like the combat system itself is entirely different. It's turn-based combat. You always have to survive the first 3 hits, the first 3 rounds of combat before retreating and eating. You can't eat in the middle of combat. I know, it's weird, but it's interesting and it's different. Also, XP is pretty much reduced in every method here. You can't actually go to the GE and buy anything you want, and you can only trade 12 items at a time. So I'll likely be gathering 99% of all of my own supplies in this journey. As well, there's different kinds of ways to train stats. For example, I find out later in this video that magic doesn't give HP XP, range doesn't give HP XP, and there's even weird ways to train some combat stats without HP XP, including something called fatigue training. Oh yeah, fatigue. There's also this mechanic where if you literally don't sleep, you don't get any XP, which, might come in handy in the future for a series like this. Everything in this game, even though it's old, is refreshing to me. For example, most people would rush Witch's House for HP XP in old school, but you have to actually kill all 4 forms of the Witch's Experiment in close combat without retreating, which means without food, or else it reverts to the very first form and you have to start over. And of course, the bugs, the different mechanics, the different methods all throughout this game, it's going to be great. I hope you enjoy it as much as I have so far, and therefore I welcome you to hopefully the first, not the last episode of Lowest Combat Classic. But before we get into our lowest level adventures on Classic, I want to talk to you about another game, because winter is the perfect time to cozy up at home with a mobile game that you can really get stuck into, especially when it's 0 degrees outside. What is the temperature?
Right now, it's 1 degree Fahrenheit.
This game also is available on PC if you are bored of just laying on the couch and want to move around inside of your own home, because you're definitely not going outside in this weather. If you like to collect cool characters, this game's for you. There's over 800 incredible champions, ranging from lizard-like creatures to elves, orcs, dwarves, demons, and even more. Like today's gameplay, this game also has turn-based combat, but with a lot better graphics. It has deep tactical gameplay, hundreds of champions, and brutal boss battles. Speaking of champions, my favorite champion in this game is Sir Nicholas. He's a powerful HP based champion. He's got Aura skill, which increases all allies HP by 33% to help with survivability. He's a huge support character. So you might be asking yourself, what is this game I'm talking about? Well, it's today's sponsor for the video, Raid Shadow Legends. As you can see, winter's well and truly here, and Raid has no shortage of icy cold champions to make for the perfect snowbound squad. These icy picks you should really add to your team this winter are Sir Nicholas, who I mentioned earlier, Tormund the Cold, whose aura skill increases your entire team's defense by 33%, and Warlman Frostking, who is another Void legendary champion. Raid has also released the Cursed City update recently, and the Cursed City is one of Raid's biggest features since the Doom Tower, with 100 stages to complete, including stages where you'll need to take down 2 of Raid's bosses at the same time. So if you have not started playing yet, what are you waiting for? Click my link in the description below or scan my QR code here to get insane bonuses only available via my link. We are talking silver, XP brews, and chicken. Additionally, once you're in the game, use the promo code RAIDXmas for new and old players alike. This game is free to play, so come find me under the name Rendimento, join my clan, Rendy Senior, and we'll be legends together. I'm going to make our bad boy here green because when everyone right clicks us, they're already going to see green, so they might as well see more of it. It will match my low combat level. I literally have no idea what's going on right now. I do remember this though, whenever NPCs talk to you, they talk to you with the chat over their head, but you have to wait for the chat to literally go through. Right now I'm playing on a client called RSC Plus. It's basically like RuneLite but for the RuneScape Classic servers, and it has some nice quality of life features here, like being able to click the chat options with the number keys, and the best thing is you can zoom out and you can see item names on the ground. There's no run in this game, and there's no tile markers. I already am in a predicament here. He wants me to carry on to the combat instructor, but I don't want combat XP. So I know this fatigue stat in the top left can go to 100 and you don't get XP if it's 100, but do I get that by just sitting here, or do I actually have to skill? I'm not quite sure. I'm going to ask someone a question about this because it's been so long since I've logged into ours. So apparently there is no fatigue unless you do skill. Well, I guess we could skill here. There's some trees back there and I do already have an axe for some reason, so I could get to 100 fatigue that way, but I think you can only level up to level 4 on the tutorial, so that's going to be an issue for getting my fatigue past, like, say 20. Also, if you've been noticing my screen, I've been trying to log out and fake log, and maybe I can't get XP that way. I've noticed a lot of the people I talk to in this game are stalls, not chat dialogue, so I'm trying to fake log here. Unfortunately, it seems like all actions in this game are 1 tick apart. There's nothing you can do 2 of in 1 tick, so that's not gonna work. I'm 3 minutes into the game and I'm trying to fake log. Now, I remember back in like 2013 in old RuneScape, if you could find a 5-minute stall, it would basically just stop the timer after those 5 minutes and give you an infinite fake log. And I'm wondering if there's something like that here in RuneScape with these long chat dialogues. But then I noticed, none of this matters, at least not for now. Fake logs might in the future, but there's a way to just skip the tutorial. So I'm not going to learn a lot of life lessons in the tutorial, but we're going to have to skip it to get 0 combat XP, although I'll be looking for fake logs throughout this journey, as being invincible to NPCs is really going to help me before I have prayer. And at level 37 prayer, you get Paralyzed Monster, which is insane. It's like Protect Melee in this game. I need to do Observatory Quest first, because that's going to determine what stats I get from that reward, and I don't want to get anything that I can't get, like defense or hit points, from the constellation I observed. And apparently there's a 10 crafting requirement on that quest, but there's like a bug in RC to where you don't even need the crafting rec. So we can go straight to Observatory Quest. We're going to run into some NPCs which might 3-hit us. Yeah, we get 3 turns of combat in this game. The goblin you have to run into through the gate and avoid. He could probably actually 3-hit our 10 HP. But that's the biggest problem in this game, is you have to survive 3 rounds of combat before you can move and eat or do anything. So fake log would very much help us out. I don't even know if fake logs once again exist in this version of the game. I know everything's on a tick-based system, so I'm assuming, you know, maybe they do in some capacity. I don't know if that affects combat like it does in old school RuneScape or RS3, but yeah, this is going to be an interesting journey. I'm looking forward to it because I really am pretty clueless right now. I didn't even know how to like continue chats with NPCs, so we're gonna see what we can do in basically a brand new game, and it's gonna take several episodes. Might have to restart, for example, if I get the wrong constellation on Observatory Quest. I might even have to literally restart if I just do the calculations wrong, because quest rewards in this game are calculated differently. They're calculated off your base level for the majority of them. It's just, I don't know, I can't even do this part of the tutorial. I want to see if I can just skip through it, go to the next door, because I don't want to get combat XP, but I still want to do the tutorial. Yeah, no. Another crazy thing about Classic, if you see my chat history right there, it's telling me I've been standing still for 5 minutes. Now, you actually have to move. You can't just right-click the screen. You need to physically move your character before 6 minutes, not 5 minutes, where the AFK timer will kick you off. It's just like old Classic was, and this is a very unique mechanic. Also, this means you can technically log out during stalls. Sorry, I'm still rambling in the tutorial, but I just want to tell you all like how much of a guideline I have to follow when going about this account. First of all, I'm going to have to get 100% fatigue once I'm off this island, and that's because I have to go through the Goblin Tunnels in Observatory Quest, and I auto-retaliate everything, meaning I don't want to get XP. So we want to get 100% fatigue before we literally do anything. So let's go ahead and just skip the tutorial, teleport to Lumbridge. I did try to do something there, it didn't work. And I don't think we got all the starting equipment we were supposed to. I guess if you skip the tutorial, you don't get all the starting equipment, which kind of sucks. Okay, it does give fatigue doing normal skilling actions, which is great because we can hit 100 fatigue getting some thieving up. Oh god, or maybe not. No, I did not know this is going to happen. Did I just fail my account? I'm still 0 XP, so I guess not somehow. Maybe you don't get XP when, like, in the first 3 rounds. Let's test it out. I mean, the worst thing that happens is I restart the account. It's a perfect time to restart. Okay, here we go. Attempting to fail the account number 2. Let's see what happens. I don't know. First of all, let's unequip this shit because I don't want to hit more than I, can. Well, I guess the shield's good. Level 2 thieving. We're on our way to big things. More money, more food, more fatigue, and somehow still no XP. Alright, my memory jolted back 18 years and I figured out why I'm not getting XP when I'm hitting these things. You actually don't get combat XP unless you do the entire kill. Or if you do the majority damage and don't let the NPC regen, then someone logs in, grabs your old PID, and kills it, then it'll give you the entire XP of the kill, which I really hope doesn't happen. So I'm running away in between these and trying to let them regen. I'm gonna need GP for a lot of stuff, just to buy from shops for quests, of course, so that's why I picked thieving. While getting my fatigue to 100, I can get some coins through pickpockets, then I can get some food through like cake stalls maybe for quests that I'll need. So after about 3 hours of this, I have to rely on luck, constellation luck, or I might have to restart the entire account and get 100 fatigue again. I could like switch locations, but you literally have to walk everywhere, you can't run. I could go find more men, but I feel like it would take just as long to let these guys regenerate here, So I wonder what happens if I try to log out during combat here. Yeah, you can't log out. It's the same. I wonder if it's, yeah, it's 10 seconds. Interesting. That has not changed. There has to be a fake log if there's anti-logs like that. Oh my god. Look at that. Look at that speed. I wanted to explore woodcutting here and see if it gave more fatigue. Oh yeah, it does. But you do fail at chopping trees. So even though it's 0.5 fatigue, I like fail. Whoa, maybe not. I was failing like 6 times earlier before I got that first wood chop. Yeah, okay, see, I slip and fall. So that's a thing in RuneScape Classic. It's really annoying, but I do need logs for Monk's Friend eventually. I think while I'm eating, I'm going to try and make it to Artie, because like walking takes forever in this game, and we have no teleports. I don't even know if there's White Wolf Mountain. If there is, hopefully there's still a way around it, kind of like a back way where you don't get attacked by anything, because I have to survive 3 rounds of combat. I'm 1 defense, 10 HP. I don't think that's going to happen with a wolf anytime soon. So I'm going to try and figure out how we can get to Artie here without dying while I'm eating, because I can click on the mini-map, by the way. You can still do that in this game and move, and then pick up my fork and eat some more. Oh shit, I forgot about this guy. I should have remembered. Like, this mugger, I don't know how much he hits. I don't think he can kill me though. We're good, I think. Actually, he's like chasing me. That's fucking frightening. What's his range of it? Oh my god. Why did I even go this way? I don't know. This is like the longest possible route I could have taken to White Wolf Mountain. I'm going like through the west side of Varrock. This makes no sense. We skipped half the tutorial, so I figured I might as well pick up this bronze pickaxe spawn since I don't even own one of these and get some of this cooked meat to help us survive. I haven't even calculated what quest I need to do first or what quest I should do in order of combat XP, because maybe that combat level will help me and all those stats will help me, such as in traversing White Wolf Mountain without dying. Oh wow, that's on the left side instead of the right side, the witch's house ball. Its entire house is in the wrong location. But anyways, why I wanted to talk about Witch's House was most people would say rush this quest first so you can get some HP and go past places like White Wolf Mountain. Well, first of all, it doesn't give the same amount of XP. It only gets you to 16 HP from 10 HP, so I would still die at White Wolf Mountain. Second of all, to actually kill this thing and progress to the quest, I looked up a quest guide on it, and you have to actually sit there and endure 4 forms of combat without retreating and without eating a single bite of food or drinking a single potion. Meaning, ironically, Witch's House is likely going to be one of the last quests we do, not the first quest, because I need Paralyzed Monster to even overtake the Witch's Experiment quest boss in one run. Okay, we're at the White Wolf Mountain. This place looks totally different. There used to be a passage, at least in old school RuneScape, you could take around the wolves. Yeah, I don't see any evidence of that passage, so instead we're gonna just try and go around the entire mountain. And I forgot this was even a quest in Classic, fishing contest. That'll help one day if I can get to the other side first. Yeah, I don't think this passage exists in Classic. It's not gonna happen. How do we get to the other side there? Well, I have one idea. Okay, let's head to the mountain and face pretty much likely death with our 3 items we have here: a shield and 2 pieces of meat. If this doesn't work, I have one more plan in mind, which is probably actually worse than this even. Oh god, we're definitely going to come into contact with some wolves here. So this is plan A. I wanted to give it a try, just go at it and see what happens with 2 pieces of meat. These are level 71 though, and they're called pack leaders in this game, so I have a feeling we're going to meet our doom here. I hit a 5, I somehow survived, but now I literally can't move. I'm blocked in, and here we're definitely going to die. Cool thing here is you keep your items wielded when you die, I've realized. So not only for the cakes and the extra thieving XP, but I need to get to Artie anyways for observatory quest, I realized. So this is literally a requirement. I'm going to have to think of another way to get there because there's no way I'm passing the White Wolf Mountain. The only other way I can think of at this moment is the Artie lever in 50 whatever wilderness. So we're gonna walk up through 50 levels of wilderness and hopefully not get hit. Also, there's 2 Gertrudes here for some reason. Interesting. I found a fellow escaper once again. I asked him where he got this sick eye patch. Apparently killing pirates on Karamja, not buying it from a charter ship because charter ships don't yet exist. Okay, so now instead of avoiding wolves, we have to avoid every level NPC on our way to 50 wild. This is gonna be fun. The great thing about the wilderness is every single NPC is aggressive, as well as that guy down there south of me, and this means I'm probably going to die. So this is surprising. There's an actual boneyard in the wilderness in Classic, and it has big bones. As well, it seems like this one big bone spawn is away from these other NPCs. I'll keep that in mind. I honestly need to rush prayer anyways for paralyzed monster prayer at level 37 prayer. This is because I'll need 40 prayer anyways for Legends Quest. You can use the monastery to get a 40 plus 2 boost for the 42 prayer requirement there. Paralyzed monster is basically like protect from everything. It makes you almost invincible as long as your prayer points don't run out and as long as you have it on at all times. I just realized something. Is there webs in this game, and do I need a knife to cut them? I did pick up this iron scimitar in the boneyard. Hopefully you can use all slash weapons, but I feel like it's only going to let me use a knife in this version of the game. So the Chaos Elemental doesn't exist yet, so that's great, but there's just wolves and rogues and everything else dangerous that's likely going to kill us around here, so I don't know how I'm going to get to the lever, but hopefully there's nothing on the way there. And hope that there's no... Oh my god, get that thing away from me. Oh my god. Luckily, it looks like our slash weapon does work. The scimitar we picked up along the way actually came in handy for these webs here. Oh, there's a second one? There's 2 webs in Classic? Alright, we're making it to Artie as a level 3. I'm proud of myself. I just buried a couple of bones we picked up along the way, and I'm gonna rush prayer once again, besides doing some quests, Restless Ghost and Holy Grail. Those are the only 2 quests that give prayer XP. So after Observatory, yeah, I'm thinking rushing prayer and prayer XP quest is gonna be where it's gonna go. If I can even do them. I'm trying to think the Black Knight Titan might be something to overcome in itself for Holy Grail quest. Also 20 attack. Is that a real rec? Does that mean we have to do all the attack rec quests before we do Holy Grail quest? If so, the route for this is already looking very, very disturbing, to say the least. Don't mind me, I'm just going to try something here. Okay, well it doesn't work, but this is a stall. Nice. So, talking about real stalls, is there going to be a safe spot to steal from these stalls without guards or the baker looking at me? Imagine I just walked 50 levels of wilderness to just instantly die to a guard. I wouldn't be surprised. So this is what we want, a much higher fatigue, but we have to wait like the real stalls in OSRS, even though there's not a graphic on it, weirdly enough. I didn't think he could actually summon the guards on you because I was doing this for 5 minutes straight. I'm not sure honestly what happened. I think the guard has to be literally like 1 or 2 tiles away from you, and the baker has to see you too. I was actually frightened there. I almost cried because I thought I was going to die, but we have to do this to 100 fatigue, then take on Observatory quest and continue on with some prayer quest after that maybe. If I don't die first. Get away! It's time to walk all the way back to the wilderness and pick up this dagger along the way. Actually, we'll pick up a scimitar again along the way to slash the web, why not? Never mind, I'm gonna stay here in Lumbridge and do some more pickpocketing. I really don't need food because I die within 3 hits before I can even use it anyways, and I'm gonna sit here in Lumbridge till 100 fatigue until we can go to Artie later on. Oh no, is there someone killing that over there? Yeah, this guy's gonna kill my NPCs, so I'm gonna like spam log out right here. This is very scary. Are you serious? Dude, I let them regen. I guess that doesn't matter because I just failed my entire account I've spent the last 3 hours on. So apparently, yeah, we're about to get a defense level now, and that's really bad. So we've got to restart the whole account. That dude over there really knows what he's doing. He's trying to purposely fail my account. He's an asshole. So what are we going to do here? Maybe we need to pickpocket in a remote location of men where no one's going to kill them until I'm 100 fatigue. Or maybe there's like a thieving action that doesn't involve pickpocketing at level 1. I'm not quite sure, honestly, but we have to restart thanks to that guy over there killing our men. Give me that Raynar weed before I go permanently. Here we are, round number 2. We look exactly the same. We're like a clone. Hey, at least I know what to do now, and we can skip the tutorial, so there's that. So we're going to go straight to Varrock now and thieve the men there. It's a little bit more of a remote location. In hindsight, I did ask the Discord if this was possible because I was kind of scared once pickpocketing when I first got in the game, and they replied, yeah, but just as long as you make sure the men regen, you should be good. Apparently, they didn't even know if this was a thing for sure or not, but that's how it was in Classic. So the authenticity of this server is insane because they put this glitch in here, and even the mod didn't know that was in here. So this is what actually does happen in RC. It's what did happen in RC. So don't let other people near your NPCs. Going to collect some of these for other quests because obviously we need to do every single quest we can in the long-term goal of this account. Alright, let's pickpocket some men away from Lumbridge. Once again, we have to survive 3 rounds of combat if we fail a pickpocket, so this is a long process. Alright, finally, it looks like we're about to get 5 thieving. I'm going to switch over to the T stall to avoid men. Interesting thing I found here besides failing almost every attempt at thieving T is there's a display T on the counter. It's actually called display T, not T, which in the main game you can't pick it up either, but they have a separate ID for it in this game, and you can actually tell just by looking at the item that it can't be picked up. So I'm going to try a new strategy here because I'm literally failing almost every thievery of this T stall here because this guy can see me from apparently everywhere. I know NPCs can get busy in this game, like you can't bank if another guy banks at the same time as you, so maybe if I bring my main here I just failed, I'll be able to distract the T salesman and then possibly thieve at a rapid rate. There's also no guards around here. Dude, I think this is actually working. I have not failed a T thieving stall in like over 20 times. Also, I don't have to risk pickpocketing more men and possibly someone coming along and killing those. So I don't know if other people do this, but we've practically already found a new method for low-level thieving, at least for ourselves, and that's awesome. Once again though, we're getting that notification for standing in an area too long because we actually have to physically move our character to stay logged in through the AFK timer. Inventory full. That's a cool notification there. So let's go ahead and bank our T's here. I'm going to try and sip one and see if it actually gives the attack boost. Wow, it does. Alright, so I've been here about 45 minutes and we're now at 100 fatigue, 20 thieving. I also found out if you just thieve with a full inventory, this is unique to Classic. If you do any resource action with a full inventory, it seems like it just drops straight to the ground, which is extremely handy because that means I don't have to bank every like 2 minutes. Now that we're also fatigued, we're going to wage war on the men because this is the perfect time to kill them off in case someone else comes along and kills them when I'm not fatigued. It's best to get them out of the way now and make sure that I don't get any other XP from them because of the earlier pickpockets. So I've killed almost all of the men spawns now, and I did get a notification when my alt killed one of them here for getting XP, but I was fatigued, thankfully. So my alt actually, when it relogged, took my PID, and it did the glitch where it could have given me XP if I was not fatigued. So it is a good thing I'm finishing these off here and now, because once again, any guy who logs in and comes and kills these men after I've just done some damage to them from pickpocketing could easily fail my account again. I've also decided that I'm gonna go ahead and just use this alt account for gathering all the supplies I need for skilling and whatnot, and just helping myself out along the way because why not? So I'm gonna focus on combats, maybe use it as a blocker in some quest, because I'm realizing I kind of needed a second account anyway, so it's sort of a blessing that that first account got failed in the weird glitchy manner it did, and that I learned from that mistake. Alright, here we are. I'm luring my alt to the wilderness here. We're going to take the route all the way to the wilderness, and we're going to go to Artie and do observatory quest. Hopefully I can get it done. I don't know. I feel like I might die in the tunnels because I still am obviously won everything, and this alt can't really save me in a lot of instances. But yeah, we're going to give it a shot and hopefully get this quest done without any XP on this new account, or else I might have to restart. I also want to figure out how to get this massive fatigued text off the middle of my screen. I think there might be a way through the open client here to actually remove it. Thank God, because I'm going to be fatigued like 99% of the entire journey of this account. I'm also going to grab another one of these tourist guides here because who knows what'll come in handy with a stall later in this game. Might as well get one of these and bank them because it's a long stall too. Alright, I was on my way to Observatory quest start and I realized there's actual items required for quests even in RuneScape Classic. I don't know what I'm thinking right now. I'm literally just not thinking, to be honest. So we're gonna have to go back and get molten glass. We're gonna have to make it from scratch with like soda ash and sand. Let's go do that. I think there is another route back to where I need to go near Entrana to get the bucket of sand and the soda ash because there's seaweed spawns in Entrana. There's this little guy over here, and Artie, I just realized, exists in the classic version of this game, which takes you to Brimhaven. So we're going to utilize him for once and not run through the entire wilderness to get back to Lumbridge and come back that way as well. Okay, that was almost as bad. There were some like scary scorpions I kind of had to dodge, but I feel like it was almost easier to navigate than the wilderness. It was still like a long trek because obviously I can't run, and it seems like the island of Karamja is still just as big as it is. Now I'm looking for the boat to Entrana, but there's literally no boat over here. I'm gonna have to explore the other side of the dock. Maybe they moved it post-classic, but also I gotta bank a lot of my armor anyways to get over there, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, this is where the Entrana monks should be, but instead we have this guy who is a one-way ticket only to Port Sarim, not the other way around. We did find the monks. They are around where the pest control or the charter ships would be in old school RuneScape. And let's see if they register anything I'm having as a weapon. Oh, I do have an iron scimitar on me, so I will have to drop that. After dropping the scimitar, we made it to Entrana. Even the bears here, it looks like, aren't aggressive. Well, maybe that is. That looks kind of scary. But we need to pick up 4 seaweed, turn it into soda ash, and then use the seaweed on a range and combine those on a furnace to make molten glass. I've never actually made molten glass in old school either. This guy in global chat said he was giving away strength amulets to new players, and considering I have no amulet, I thought this was a good deal. So shout out to Moonbolt here. He's trading me a strength ammy for literally nothing, and these are only dropped via KBD, or you have to enchant these. So I don't know if I'd ever even be able to get one of these on a low level. Alright, we're using our seaweed on the range here. I figured I might as well make a few of these because it's a very good chance I'm going to die either on my way to Observatory Quest or inside of it. So I might as well make as many molten glass as I can. That way if I do die with it on me, I can easily get it back without having to come all the way back to Entrana and banking all of my gear, etc, etc. Every time I go to Entrana, I've been juggling this scimitar here, and somehow I've made it back and forth between 2 minutes before it disappears every single time. Hey, every item to me at this point in the game is precious. I need that iron scimitar, even though there's more free ones in the wilderness that I'll likely pick up later. I don't know. I like my iron scimitar. I don't want it going away anytime soon. I also need a bronze bar for this quest, probably multiple ones. Unfortunately, what? You can't even mine the rock when you're fatigued, which is weird because you can thieve when you're fatigued, you just don't get XP. I thought I would at least be able to mine and just not get any XP, but it looks like no, I'm too tired to mine the rock. Interesting. So some skills that are gathering skills you can still use, others you can't, and yeah, but for sure you never get XP while you're fatigued. So another weird thing, this guy gives me Irina's whole backstory from Tourist Trap Quest. The only thing basically to do in the desert at this time. He gives me this every time I want to just trade him. So he gives me a long narrative about Irina and how she's lost. But here we go. We're finally in the shop, and they do have bronze bars. They look drastically different, but they have 5. And I think the restock time is a little bit quicker on Classic as well. So I'm going to just buy all of those once again in case I die and lose any. You never know, and they're super cheap. I also bought these desert robes because I look like a straight up pimp. I've got what looks like bathrobes on now. White, pure white bathrobes. So yeah, I'm going to keep these on for now until we probably die here soon. I also need some planks for this quest. Unfortunately, I can't get to the only what looks like safe plank in the game. So I do need planks for this quest. I'm just going to have to, I think, somehow skirt around all of these NPCs, these ghosts, because I am 1 defense and 10 HP currently, and it's going to be kind of hard here. I think these could all 3-hit me if I somehow accidentally get into combat with them, especially that giant right there that is extremely creepy walking around. let's see what happens. I'm going to try and just, yeah, go around this guy as much as possible and hopefully get to these planks. I am going to pick up as many as possible. Okay, I've made it somehow in this house without getting attacked once. Knock on wood. Knock on one of these planks right here. Luckily, these respawn really quick out here in Classic, so I can just dip with these 4 planks I managed to get in the more safe area of that brick hut. Okay, we've managed to make it back to where I was about an entire hour ago, and we now have the supplies and more to do observatory quests on both of these accounts. There's a fence back here for a safer route through the Khazard battlefield. I can't get into combat with Khazards. How do the people already know I'm playing this game? I put like one chat message in Discord asking a question about the PID thing, and they just know the guy with green hair who's a noob is me. Interesting. Look at the size on that thing. Now that makes sense as to why in the quest it takes down the entire fort. In OSR, still that thing is tiny and looks like shit. I'm en route to the observatory quest, and I noticed there's this cure poison potion here, which it suggests I need for the quest guide. Also though, there's all these bone spawns, which makes me think if I'm getting pair up first, this might be a good area to do it. This isn't in the wilderness. These goblins aren't aggressive to low level players like most NPCs are. Everywhere else there's bone spawns, and I think there's like 6 of them here as well. Maybe I could take my main account, my new alt, and start killing the goblins for some combat XP, as well as even more bones I can pick up that will naturally show to my character after a minute on the ground. I'm thinking this is going to be a good method to utilize, and maybe I'll come back here right after observatory quest to get some prayer XP. So we're finally here. We've made it after walking miles and miles back and forth between Lumbridge, Artie, and then getting the supplies. All of this, we could finally start this quest, and I'm going to hand in basically all the supplies I've gathered first, except for the molten glass. So it's not going to actually really matter that I got multiple of these, because I don't think I'm going to physically be capable of dying with them since I'm handing them over so early on in the quest. But I'm really worried about going down these tunnels and having to deal with the spiders and goblins there that are all aggressive, that could possibly even 3-hit me if I'm unlucky, because once again 10 HP, and I believe they max 3 or 4s depending on the NPC, and the only food I have as of right now is tea, which heals 2 each. But I've noticed you can drink this without any clearance besides 1 tick, so you can drink 2 HP every tick, and then I believe it's like 3 or 4 ticks until you get back into combat with an aggressive NPC. So this is going to be possible, but it's going to be scary, and I'm really interested to see if I do end up dying on this early part of the quest. So the man gives me a warning before I even go down here, and okay, it just sends me straight in, and I'm instantly getting attacked by a dungeon rat. I don't know what these max, but I don't even know where to go. I didn't know I was gonna get sent straight in here, and this is kind of like a maze. It's a lot different in Classic. It's not the same format as it is in Old School. As well, apparently there is a chest though that does have the key that you need. You don't have to check random chests. It's not random. There's one specific chest at the end of the maze I have to get to that will allow me to actually get the key no matter what. And I need to start drinking some teas. I really don't know if this is going to be enough. I did not think there would be this many NPCs along the pathway, and we're just getting started here, and once again we're already in combat. So I think I'm gonna have to maybe leave here and go back to Artie and possibly buy or thieve some cakes because I have no coins. And yeah, this is gonna be very unfortunate, but there's no way I'm making it through the tunnels this time around with just these few amount of tea. Alright, as long as, okay, the goblin didn't attack me before we made it up the ladder, and these goblins are safe, so we're good. But we have 1 tea left, and we're not even full HP. That was cutting it close, and we didn't even get halfway to the key. So we're gonna go back. I also picked up an iron med I found in the Khazard field. I almost died trying to get it. So we're at 5 hit points and no food now. Alright, so this seems to be working. I'm distracting the chef, or the baker, sorry, he's not a chef, with my other account here, and he's never caring, even if I'm right next to him, that I'm stealing this stall here. So this works globally, it looks like, for every NPC install. It's very easy to make NPCs busy, it seems like, in this game. If more than one person even talks to the banker in this game, you cannot use that banker. So you could like literally grief people in so many ways. Not giving anyone any ideas, but yeah, there are so many things broken about this game, and that's why I love it. I just got to make sure I watch out for the guards this time. It seems like everything in this dungeon only max hits around a 3, so no matter what, they're going to only hit me for 9 HP. Some of them max hit 2, so they can only hit me for 6 HP before I retreat. And this cake is amazing. It's 5 hit points per bite, so I'm just keeping my HP as high as I possibly can while running through here, and it's really working out much better this time than just having, you know, 5 Ts and thinking I'm going to get through the entire thing. There is no NPC here. I was afraid there might be like an NPC at the chest, so it would be hard to do this, but I'm going to try and drop trick and get a few keys. I might need them if I die. Maybe they keep. I don't know what their value is, but I'm gonna get a few of these here, just as many as I can hold with these empty inventory slots, and head back to the gate and try to make it past the level 48, I believe, goblin guard that can easily 3-hit me. That's going to be the scariest part of this quest, because I do not want to have to walk all the way back here and then get new keys again and repeat the process. I honestly should just go bank these, but I'm a little bit impatient and I want to get this quest done. I've been walking around already forever, and this maze alone is super annoying. Alright, time to walk all the way back to the front near the gate. Okay, here we are. The Supreme Goblin Leader is right around the corner here, and I am scared to death of him, but I'm going to try and just go in with this key as fast as I can before he even sees me, use it on the door, and then hopefully go through. Okay, well, that key destroyed, but it didn't open the gate. I saw it say it broke. That's not a good sign. I did survive combat with the goblin somehow. And I'm gonna make sure, yeah, it's the key is breaking, but the door is not opening. I'm not really sure what's happening. Oh my god, I almost just died. I'm gonna get in combat again here in a second. That is, I'm actually, this is very difficult playing Classic. I thought this would be easy, but I have to make sure I'm on my feet here and eat between these NPCs. I should be able to get into this gate. I've used 2 keys now. It's a good thing I got more than one, or else I'd have to walk all the way back. But I used the key, and once again, well, that time I didn't even get into the door, but I'm gonna try it one more time. Yeah, then it breaks, and oh my god, the guard's in combat with me. This could be bad. This could be very bad. This could be very bad. This could be very, oh my god, 1 HP. Get out of here. And now I'm stuck. And I'm stuck because there's goblins all around me. I can't leave. My god, man. All right, I gotta look up a guide or something. This is not working. Okay, so I looked up guides, and now I'm even more confused because the wiki says I should be able to use the key on the door, go through, and then search the sacks. I'm not sure what's happening. Maybe it's just like a chance because I'm low crafting, because there is a 10 crafting requirement on this quest, but apparently it's glitched and you don't need it. Maybe there's a chance you break the key and it doesn't work, or maybe it's because I'm fatigued. Imagine you can't use the key on a door because you're fatigued. I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised. There's some weird shit going on in this game. Alright, here we go again, risking our life just to have a chance at opening the gate here. Let's see. Oh, of course, the Goblin General Man's on me now, and my god, we're at 1 HP. We are dead. We've lost everything. Everything despawns in 2 minutes, so that's unfortunate. And now we're gonna have to trek our way all the way back to Artie and the observatory on the other literal side of the map. The only good thing about dying this time is we're not going to come back to Lumbridge and get XP because we're fatigued as well. I got fatigued before doing this quest because I didn't want any of the damage done to those goblins at some point, have someone log in and kill them off and then grant me the XP. That would be very bad. I'm going to ask the Discord about this, see if there's something I'm doing wrong. Okay, so apparently I didn't read through my quest history, and even though the key was breaking, it technically did unlock the gate, and all you have to do after that is click on the gate to open it. So the gate was already unlocked 5 times, in fact, and now hopefully all I have to do, I don't even have to go to the end of the maze. I can just go in, then run straight to the Goblin General, try and tank his few hits, and open the gate and instantly get the lens mold. Alright, let's hope this works. Let's hope it remembered, even though I left, that I did unlock this thing. Okay, luckily the shit tier goblin is here to protect us from the higher tier one. There's a slight cooldown. Nice. So we got in. There should be the lens mold now in this sack, and now we just have to get out. Let's see. Okay, yes, luckily the lower level goblin is here, and we'll have the cooldown of combat to get away from the goblin guard, so we won't be able to get 3 hit from him today, and we kind of lucked out on that one with the positioning of the goblin. So another weird buggy thing they decided to re-implement in this version of RC that was in the original is, as you can see here, it says you need 10 crafting to add the molten glass to the lens mold, but you really don't, and I can just do it anyways, even though it gives me the warning in the chat dialogue. So this is a good starter quest if you can survive the goblins. But we do have to go back down here and find the professor on the other side and navigate through the maze once again with our limited food here. Okay, so here is the moment of truth. This will tell us if we have to restart the account and do everything we've just spent the last 4 hours doing over again, although we will have some more knowledge before we go into it. Yes, 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 Libra. That'll give us 3 law runes, no XP in any stat, exactly what we needed. We can actually finish this quest and not start over and waste another 4 hours of life. Let's do this. Okay, so weirdly enough, I'm having to talk to him again, and he wants me to use the telescope again. I thought talking to him again would finish the quest. Alright, so we've looked through the telescope again. Let's see. Okay, oh, there's chat dialogue up here. Okay, so you can see the constellation. Yes, yes, yes. Looking through the telescope. And that wasn't supposed to happen. I don't have any XP in any of these skills. And he gave me a defense ammy. Wait, did the star sign change? I think I literally somehow changed the star sign by clicking off his original dialogue and going back and talking to him. Well, I wasn't paying attention, but it's a good thing it didn't change to something that drops XP on me, or else I might have been slightly irritated and furious because I thought I was in the clear. I got lucky twice in a row. That usually never happens to someone like me, but we got a defense ammy as well. That's going to be like best in slot, to be honest, until we get a gnome amulet. It's got super good armor defense bonus, and we're just trying to avoid, you know, damage at all costs and not get 3 hits. So honestly, the defense amulet, it's better than the 3 law runes. I'll take that, but that is very odd how you could change the reward in RSC by doing that little glitch there. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do this on my other account because looking at the rewards, there is a possible way to get weapon poison. You can actually weapon poison certain weapons and they remove the requirements. Like, for example, I could weapon poison a rune or Addy spear and it wouldn't have the 35 attack and 25 range requirement that the normal version of the Addy spear does. It didn't have that in normal classic either, so this is going to be super handy. I can go ahead and do the quest now on what is now known as my main. And it looks like, yeah, the star sign does change every time you look through the telescope, even after the quest. I'm going to get a weapon poison because I'm never seeing myself getting 60 herblore on this godforsaken game and making it. I'd rather just do this quest once, manipulate the end, hopefully get the right star sign to get the weapon poison, as I'll only need 1 weapon poison ever. There is poison damage in this game, but there's only 1 type of poison damage, and that's just regular weapon poison, by the way, so plus, etc. doesn't exist yet. And you can melee with a spear, you can also range with it, but apparently if you melee with it, it still does the poison damage. So we would only need that 1 singular weapon poison for the rest of this account's life. Alright, I've traded over my defense gear and now we're doing the quest on my main account, which is literally the same combat as my not main account besides 2 defense. We're going to go ahead and do this again, and now we only have to get 1 key and we know how to use it. We just have to click the gate afterwards, but we're going to manipulate the star sign, get the weapon poison, and then hand it over to the other account when that's done. After that, once again, we're lucky that this smaller goblin is trapped here because now I can get through this door here, and I did get the lens mold without any problem. I didn't even get attacked once again by the level 45 because the smaller one I accidentally trapped there so long ago. He's still trapped there. Gotta love the buggy RSC combat system, but sometimes it does help me out. It doesn't hinder me at all times. I've been sitting here clicking the telescope and clicking off the dialogue not to complete the quest over and over again for what seems like 20 minutes. I cannot get the Scorpio constellation to save my life, and I do not know why. Sometimes it resets the constellation, sometimes it doesn't, but yeah, I've been here forever trying to get this thing. I just want the weapon poison, please. Please, Professor. Oh my god, there it is. I think that's it. I gotta make sure not to click off his dialogue on accident. Even if you right click the screen, it removes the dialogue. You don't even have to move. So I've accidentally gone to bankers and ruined the dialogue many times over and had to like re-talk to them and wait for them we can finally get this weapon poison, possibly buy a spear in the future. I don't know if there's even rune spears in this game. The only way you can get those is through monster drops, and they're like 1 in 20k on the rare drop table, really hard to find. If there are being sold in this game, they're probably like over $1 million, and I'll never get that amount of cash. So I'll be more likely able to find an Addy spear through like a Shadow Warrior or through like a Blue Dragon if some people kill them, which I'm sure there's a few that do. Okay, it's been one hell of an adventure thus far. I got the weapon poison traded over, and now I'm sleeping my fatigue off. I went and killed the goblins throughout the entire tunnel, as well as the spiders that aggroed me, except for the big boy on my alt account, and it took forever. I did that to make sure I didn't get any fatigue, and we picked up these bones on the way at the goblin village that I saw, and I'm going to go ahead and head back there and get some combat XP on my alt, while as well getting the prayer XP on this account. Alright, we're actually doing it. We're at the mini goblin village here near the observatory, picking up these bones, burying them. It's about 1.7k XP per hour. I'm also picking up the bones my alt here is training with goblins on, and the coins from the goblins. Maybe by the end of this, he'll have some decent levels as well. I'll have maybe a couple thousand GP from the goblin drops. Also, I'm going to be looking for some goblin mail for a goblin diplomacy quest, because I eventually do have to do that, obviously. So I have heard that's a little bit rarer in this game to get. I should easily be able to get 3 pieces of goblin mail, maybe even 6 for both accounts to do the quest on. Eventually, I might start chopping some trees as well, because I do need to get my wood cutting up for Lost City quest. I need 35 wood cutting for that quest. Also, might get some fire making up for Sea Slug. Need 30 fire making. I don't know. We'll see how hard this is. I'm also AFKing my OSRS account while doing this, so I'm on 3 clients right now, and right now my main, otherwise known as like the level 4 sitting next to me, is getting slaughtered by goblins, but he does have a full inventory of cakes, and eventually, maybe because my defense will be so high, like I'm thinking around 10, I'll stop having to actually eat, and my natural health regeneration of 1 per minute will save that account from having to bank food. So I'm training strength first, then defense, then attack on that account, I believe. I'm non-stop moving, non-stop attacking, so I really don't know if any spot's going to be better than this, unless it's maybe Big Bones in the wilderness, which honestly is very dangerous for my account. Once again, I'm trying to get 37 prayer eventually for Paralyzed Monster to make all these quests easier at this low combat level. Ooh, that skull is scary. I've got no reason to take it. I was going to try and use that later for Restless Ghost, but it won't even let me pick it up. So I feel like I've already been doing this forever, and this is going to be a long grind, because I'm not exaggerating when I say this method is 1.7k XP per hour, and I'm constantly moving on 2 clients RuneScape Classic wise. I'm also going to pick up some of these bronze spears just to see how their mechanics work. Apparently you can throw them or you can melee with them. I just don't know how to trigger one or the other. I don't know how to, you know, decide, because it's not under attack styles apparently. Someone told me it's like if you get aggressed with one, you're gonna throw it no matter what. So this game is super buggy, but I'm looking forward to just experimenting. I almost forgot that goblins drop chef's hats, and one is about to pop up here from my other account. My Riz is about to be off the charts. Oh my god, that is some Fashionscape right there. I was actually wrong. We're only getting like 1.3k an hour. Not even 1.7k an hour. We need to get 32 prayer before we do Restless Ghost and Holy Grail to get us to 37. So we're not even like an eighth of the way to 32 prayer. Alright, I do have 3 goblin mails though, so we can do goblin diplomacy at least on one account now. Alright, I'm 17 prayer now, but you know how I was talking about not knowing how spears work earlier? Well, I accidentally left-clicked the goblin, and yeah, I hit it for a 1 with a spear, unfortunately, then ran away. It was like a projectile spear. It wasn't a normal spear hit. So I'm really afraid of this getting extra combat XP by others killing my NPCs, even if it's not PID swap, but I don't trust it still at all, and so therefore I'm going to just sit here and woodcut, get some woodcutting and maybe some fire making up, and just collect only the bone spawns, not killing any other goblins during this period until I'm 100% fatigued. Then I'll go and slaughter the goblin goblins like I did the min earlier on, just to get them out of the way while I'm fatigued, in case there's a chance that I can get XP from that weird pit glitch. I found out this is almost the same XP per hour. It's so slight that the bones from the extra goblins my alt is killing that it doesn't even really matter, and therefore this extra woodcutting XP is kind of nice, and it's a little bit refreshing to do something slightly different. By the way, yes, I did get this awesome gnome hat that's green that matches my outfit perfectly on my alt while I've been sitting here in AFK. I've also decided to come back here in my alt, and because I can't attack anything, I'm just gonna sit here and pick up the poison cure potions and sell them to the general store. They're 50 GP each. I noticed by accidentally selling one to the general store and already earlier whenever resting that account's fatigue, so I figured they spawn kind of slow. I might as well just sit here and pick one up every now and then while I'm woodcutting, picking up bones and burying them. Finally, at 5 woodcutting and almost 19 prayer, very shy off that there, I'm going to be getting 100 fatigue now, and we can go ahead and slaughter all the goblins. I don't remember which one it was, so I'm just going to have my alt kill them all while I'm fatigued. Alright, let's do this. Let the goblin slaughtering commence. I'm going to kill every one of these motherfuckers, and I'm going to get their bones, and then we can go back to training this normally with the extra benefit of bones and getting more defense, strength, attack XP on my alt here. I'm specifically going to be training it up for close combat with Sir Mordred, I believe is his name, inside of Merlin's Crystal quest, as that is like a level 60 NPC you need to pretty much defeat, and Merlin's Crystal is required for Holy Grail, therefore I won't have Paralyzed Monster Prayer yet. I believe though by using alt mechanics and hitting it with the last hit on my other account here like you can in old school, you can get his mother to pop up and beg for forgiveness, so I don't have to kill it on the low level. I can just kill it on this high level, then finish it off on the low level. Alright, it is actually a good thing I waited to 100 fatigue to kill these, because even though I haven't relogged, it looks like my PID has switched, and one of the XP notifications on my other account popped up saying I'm fatigued and I won't get XP, which means I would have gotten the XP in that scenario. Okay, I went ahead and bought some sleeping bags from the general store, and what these do is they allow you to rest pretty much from any location. I believe the fatigue regains a little bit slower, but not much, and it's going to save a lot of time in the future. I got them for both of my accounts. I'm going to rest back with that sleeping bag down to 0% fatigue so I can gain more prayer XP once again now that those goblins are cleared. Also, I ended up getting over 1100 coins just from goblin drops, as you can see. I don't know about you though, but I'm physically ill from seeing the color green, even though I still see it on my character here. But we're going to the boneyard, and I'm going to see if some of these bone spawns are safe to collect. If not, you know, I'm going to have to go into contact with skeletons. And in this game, that's a surefire way of dying and going back to Lumbridge and having to walk back. I want to see the XP per hour though, what it will be if I literally just sit in the spot here, which I believe is safe from all skeletons, and pick up this singular bone spawn, since the respawn times in classic, it seems like, are a bit quicker than what they are in old school. And this is going to be good because even though I'm just sitting at one bone spawn, it only takes like 15 to 20 seconds to respawn, and I don't have to go out of my way to get into combat with those skeletons and instantly die. Also, as you can see, I was able to pick up that skull there. I dropped it back down, but I might honestly pick it back up and try and use it for Restless Ghost quest, maybe skip a quest step. I don't know. I feel like the skulls will be different IDs, even though they look exactly the same as the one that you get from the Wizard's Tower in that quest. But that's what I was trying to do with the other skull near Goblin Village, which didn't let me even pick it up. This one looks exactly the same though, and I can pick it up. I'm having my alt stand here as a blocker just in case. We just got 19 prayer, so still a long ways to go from 32 before we start questing. But maybe this is more if, oh my god, I didn't even think of PKers. We're in the wilderness. I forget there's people who actually play this game besides myself. But I'm realizing this is a good thing because I'm a low level, I'm doing prayer first. Maybe no one can attack me out here at this low level. I bet everyone who plays this game is very committed and either has, you know, a mid or high level account, I would believe. Once again, I'm not doing Restless Ghost and Holy Grail off the rip because I want to wait till I'm 32 prayer, because quest rewards scale based on your level in the skill. There's a multiplier as well as base XP. So I want to wait till the very last second to maximize the XP from these quests. Whereas with all the other quests that I'm not trying to get prayer up, that don't have requirements for other quests, I'm going to do the opposite and try to do them in order of the highest multiplier first. That way I can get the lowest combat stat if there's no true requirement in any other quest related to it. The other reason I've been sitting out here on my alt, I want to see if the 10-minute de-aggression timer works on Classic like it does on Old School. And maybe I can actually sit here for 10 minutes on my other account and then go collect these bones safe and sound. But no, it does not look like there is a 10-minute de-aggression timer, as that skeleton just attacked me. It seems like these are just as strong as I thought they would be, and this account has died. Luckily, it's not my other account that's been out here that needs to stay out here. I guess I could go do some other things on this account while the other one AFKs the singular big bone spawn. It's still better XP per hour and a lot more AFK. So it looks like I'm actually getting around 1600 prayer XP per hour. I've gotten 20 prayer now out here. The best part about this, even though it is a little bit better, it's 200 XP more per hour. The best part is I'm just able to AFK. No one's out here really attacking me because I'm such a low combat. I found out the skeletons physically can't get to me. Literally the last step of their aggression is one tile away from this spot here, so I have nothing to worry about with them, and I'm able to just chill here and train prayer while I take my other account and do other things. My idea right now is I still need to train my stats up more for Sir Mordred, so I'm going to go ahead and do this at Min and Edgeville. I found out that they almost never hit me. I don't need food for them. As well, they give herbs and Herblore XP that I'll need in the future. I need 45 Herblore somehow for Legends Quest, so I might as well start collecting low tier herbs now and do that while I can, while I'm AFK on this account, just burying these bones. Sorry, Herblore. It's called Herblore in this game, not Herblore. My bad. Before we actually train on Min though, I am one attack still. I've only been training my strength and defense, which are almost 20 each, because I haven't really needed attack for goblins. But anyways, we're going to be training our attack at dummies. Yes, they have dummies in Classic, and they work a bit different. They're the same speed between each attack. They give 5 attack XP and no HP XP, just like OSRs. But there's something cool I do want to try later on, which is if you lower your attack, it doesn't look at your base level, it looks at your boosted level. So if you lower your attack under 8, normally you can't learn anything from a dummy after 8 attack in OSRS, and even in Classic, but if you lower it with a jug of wine or something like a beer, I remember this from back in the day, you could still get attack XP. So there was technically a way, if you were pre-OSRS transfer, that you could make a 99 attack 10 HP account in a niche way, which no one really did for some reason. And that was before Soul Wars and even Pest Control came out, and that was simply by chugging jugs of wine and hitting dummies, which is around 5k XP per hour. Not terrible compared to some methods like dig site finds, which are around half that. I want to try one more thing that I'm, not sure about. I talked about this briefly earlier, but I want to see what happens if I do an action that requires a stall, like hitting this dummy, and I log out with the 6-minute AFK timer in the middle of that action. Will it just stall break, cancel the action, cancel the XP, or will the XP roll while I'm logged out? I really don't know, so I want to test this, as it could come in handy for Nolan Quest XP even later down the line if this is how the game works. And this AFK timer, once again, is based on if you don't move, and technically I'm not moving when I'm hitting this dummy. Okay, moment of truth. I swung at the dummy and I got logged at 6 minutes. Let's see what happens when I log back in. So the XP didn't drop, but I did get the 600 XP, which means I did get the XP even though I was logged out, which tells me avoiding quest XP through this method and logging out during the end of the quest is probably not going to work for avoiding it. So a moment of truth, we're about to get 8 attack here. I want to see if this server is actually 1-to-1 properly coded. So we're 8 attack, you swing at the dummy, and there's nothing more. So it does know I'm 8 attack, I can't get XP. So let's go buy a beer from the pub nearby and try this again and see if we can still get XP, just like we could in Real Classic. Okay, we've got our beer, the poor man's wine. We're gonna go ahead and drink this now, get our attack down 1 level, and try and swing at the dummy and see if we can still get XP. Okay, wow, it actually does work. So this server is properly coded. That's amazing. This brings me back to the singular week I played Classic in 2005. And I remembered, I was like, oh, I wish I could play this back in the day because I could have made a sick 10 HP attack here, but I can't anymore. That was literally my thought process even back then. All right, so before we go to Min, on my way there and throughout the entire progress of probably today's episode, I'm going to be trying to kill imps. I need beads for imp catcher quests. I'm just going to do the magic quest as soon as I can. I don't really think I need XP, and I don't need to really organize that in any way, shape, or form because eventually I'll need 56 magic anyways for legends and family crest requirements. This thing retreats a lot, but it doesn't teleport, it looks like. And we got a wizard's hat. Cool, I actually don't have that yet. Meanwhile, on the alt, we're getting 25 prayer finally, getting closer to 32 before we can quest here. And this means we can now protect items, which is kind of actually huge because items despawn in 2 minutes in this game. There's no gravestones or there's no infinite items just sitting there. We can just actually bring 4 items now instead of 3 to scary locations where we know we might get killed by NPCs or other players. I found another imp here. I'm going to test out what a spear actually does. So it does throw the spear first off, and then I guess it switches into the, I had 2 spears in my inventory, so it automates the second spear into a melee style. So I need to know this for when I get my spear poisoned, because I don't want to waste a spear. There's a chance that it doesn't actually go to the ground when you throw it, just like other ammunition. And I don't want to, you know, spend my entire bank on a Ruin or Addy spear and then just throw it and it just disappears forever. Looks like we got a yellow bead though. That's sweet. That's our first bead, and now we just need 3 more. Actually, 7 more if you count the need for beads on this account as well. I guess we're just doing everything on this account too. I don't know, maybe not doing all quests, but we definitely need to get to Holy Grail to be a blocker for this account before it's 37 prayer. And now let's continue on to killing some men, getting some attack up, just continuing combat on this account. So what's great about this here is the bank is actually somehow closer to the man hut than it is in old school, and there's just as many men spawns, so this is going to be great for herbs and for training. As well, I can see an imp spawn just wandering around there. Let's go kill it real quick. So there are imp spawns around here too I can passively just go for. And with the spear situation we saw earlier, I believe I just need to go into combat first with like an iron scimitar or another weapon, and then once I'm truly in combat, and as long as the NPC doesn't retreat like those imps there, I won't then throw my spear. I'll just use it in melee combat and use it to poison that way. So we need a weapon to first get into combat with to attack NPCs, and then we switch into the spear later. And as you can see, these imps like to retreat a lot, but luckily once again they do not teleport. And actually a bucket of water, I need that because I need bread for Merlin's crystal to get the Excalibur. Another thing, the Excalibur, someone was mentioning earlier that it doesn't have an attack requirement, so that is huge. It's actually one of the best weapons to use for no skills in this game. It has the same stats as a Myth Longsword, and the weapon speed in this game doesn't matter, but also you can use it with 1 attack, and that's the same way you could do an RSC. Apparently Excalibur had no real requirements, even though the quest said it did. Kind of like how making the lens mold with a molten glass said it required 10 crafting, but it didn't. So we'll have to look out for a lot of these bugs, and this means I won't be having to do the entire lineup of attack quests before I take on Holy Grail, because to get past the Black Knight Titan in Holy Grail, you do need to have the Excalibur wielded. That's been a long time thing. Even in old school, there's no way around it. I've tried literally everything. Excalibur and 20 attack are a must. But in this game, it's not even 20 attack, it's just Excalibur. So looking forward to taking that on with 1 attack for the first time ever and wielding an Excalibur at 1 attack. Things are very exciting on this game with all the little glitches and bugs along the way that I'm finding. Another day, another retreating imp. So another unique perk of training here with men, not only because they give herbs, coins, and good XP, is that I'm able to actually see PKers entering the wilderness. I've seen a lot of people with skulls come around here at Edge Bank, but none of them have been in the combat bracket, luckily, of my account here that's sitting in the wilderness. As you can see, I can only attack up to a level 31. I'm more scared of like actually attacking back and getting XP from the person than I am of dying, because that account is risking literally nothing. So I did get another bead from an impling, but guess what? It's the exact same one I already had. I have 2 yellow beads now. What I'm actually going to do is recruit my friend from Discord here to start playing this RSC server with me, and he's gonna help me out. He said he's gonna go hunt implings for beads and hopefully find a whole set for me to use, maybe even on both accounts. The perks of having friends, it's great, isn't it? I'm still killing them though, and we get cadaver berries, no beads. Come back here, you little shit. I've been here all day, just minding my own business, and then this guy logs in, and he's spamming everyone at the bank. Noob here, accepting free items. Man, you gotta work for your GP. I'm picking up herbs I plan on selling to these people for like 10k. This guy, nah. He's just a filthy beggar who's stealing my men. So it's a good thing I have a sleeping bag out here in the middle of nowhere. You have to let it sit there a while to get all the way back to 0. I'm even banking my bones to possibly trade to my other account in the future. I'm picking up everything out here. I'm like a scavenger. This guy's not even picking up his unidentified Roman herbs. He's begging for money, and he's not picking up the money on the ground next to him. What an ungrateful bastard. So there is like a level 25 PKer, it looks like Scold, who's a mage tank. In Classic in this game, mage hardly levels you. It levels you the same amount as prayer. And this guy could come kill my account sitting out here in the wilderness. Let's hope he doesn't find me. The wilderness is a vast region he'll have to explore to find me sitting at this singular bone spot. And I don't count on that happening anytime soon. There he goes to kill my account. Good thing he has defense, and I probably won't hit on him and get XP. There's literally scammers in this game. This guy 1-800 Guthix is a level 3 who's trying to duel me, and you know he has a trick up his sleeve if he's a level 3 trying to duel me for everything. And yes, in Classic you can duel anywhere in the game. It's actually pretty sick. So the beggar is still here. He hasn't been collecting Raynar's, Quarums, Cadentines, and the lot. This guy is paying a lot of money for them. He's paying 3k each for Raynars. So I'm about to get my first at least 10k plus cash stack just selling him the high tier herbs that I'll never be able to make anyways, because I only need 45 herb law in order to get to Legends quest and get that quest completed. Well, technically I can make Raynars, but it's so far away that I don't want to worry about that right now, and I can always buy them back. I sold some Aventos and Irrits as well, and I believe another guy is going to come along and buy the rest of these high tier herbs that I can't even use. I'm killing another imp. My friend has yet to get any beads, and then we get another yellow one. I think that's the third yellow bead I've gotten in. I haven't gotten a singular other color yet. Alright, don't mind me just making some more GP while I'm burying bones on the other account still. Alright, over a day has passed since I went to this big bone spot, and we are now 27 prayer. Initially I thought sleeping bags were consumable, so I like to use beds a little bit more. Luckily there's a bed here in Edgeville. Another day, another imp. And some grain. Definitely need that. I'm literally so poor, I'm selling bronze medhelm drops from men to the general store for like 20 coins each right now. Maybe that guy who was begging earlier was actually onto something. Oh my god, an egg. The community on this game is something else. There's NPC high scores, and this guy has a high kill count with Shadow Warriors, and Shadow Warriors drop Adamant Spear. So I went and DM'd him because his private was on, and he's gonna go get me an Addy Spear. He said he usually just leaves him on the ground. I don't think I'm gonna be getting a Rune Spear anytime soon, but he says to meet him near the Legends Guild, and there he'll give me an Addy Spear whenever he next gets the drop from one of these Shadow Warriors. Now I did offer to pay him GP, but he wouldn't take it, and as you can see we now have 38k from selling the high tier herbs to some players. I'm not a beggar, okay? I'm not asking for this for free. I'm trying to buy it, but he wants to give it to me for free, which is super nice. So we're going to make our way all the way to the Legends Guild, meaning we're going to run up through the wilderness once again to Artie, and then all the way west to that guild. Here's the legend himself, literally in front of the Legends Guild, so he definitely is a legend, and he's going to trade me this. He just got it as a drop, so I came at perfect timing, even though it took me about 7 minutes to walk here. Thank you so much. I'm going to use my weapon poison I got from Observatory Quest earlier, and then we're going to put that on the spear, and it's going to be our best in slot poison weapon, probably forever, because I'm never going to go for a rune spear, because that's just ridiculous, and I don't have that kind of money or time. While I'm here on the other side of the map in Artie, I'm going to go ahead and buy a plate body from this lady if she does sell them like she does in OSRS, and it looks like she does. So I'm not quite 20 defense, but I believe I'm 18 right now, so we're getting close. And I want to go ahead and just buy a full mithril set while I can, except for the sword, because I'm going to hold off till I get Excalibur, because that's like a mithril long anyways, and I'm poor and I want to save my money. So we're going to get a whole set of mithril. We're going to go to Louis Legs, get some legs. Maybe get a mithril full helmet from the Barbarian Village helmet shop if that exists in this game, and just spend some of this money on some decent upgrades since I'm literally using bronze and iron gear still. Also, I found out you can buy bread from the baker, even though you can't thieve it from his stall. He sells it, so that helps us out a lot. We don't have to make bread with our one cooking here. We can just buy this and use it to get multiple Excaliburs in the Merlin's Crystal quest later on. And I just purchased this whole stock for now, and that's going to allow us to have 7 Excaliburs across both accounts. Alright, I didn't want to make my way all the way back to Edgeville. Honestly, the trek is so long, so I found this cow pit here by Artie, and I'm killing cows for 20 defense, hopefully to wear that mithril body, and then take on a giant bat. There are no normal bats in this game, only giant bats, and they're level 31, much higher than my combat level, and they can probably shred me. I'm picking up some raw beef here. I'm going to cook it so I can take on these bats, as I need 2 bones, 1 for each account. Whenever taking on Merlin's Crystal, bat bones are required for that quest, so I figured I might as well get all the quest items ready for the other account while it's training that prayer up. Speaking of the other account training the prayer up, it's doing that, but not only that anymore. I did bring an axe to this account so it can chop these trees right next to the bone spawn, and I'm also going to use this knife I picked up to make them into arrow shafts, as I need 10 fletching eventually anyways for Tourist Trap quest, and the fletching XP in this game at these low levels is extremely slow. Also though, the main reason for this is I found out this guy is buying arrow shafts 10 GP each, so if I make like 3,000 arrow shafts, that's a free 30k as well on top of what I've already made from the herbs on my other account, and I have some free time between the bone spawns, even though I do have to click a bit more to fletch arrows and chop the trees, and fail at chopping the trees a lot of the time. I found this random house with a range in it between Sears Village and Artie near the cow pit that I was just training at, so I can cook this beef here to prepare for the fight with the giant bats. Alright, I'm ready for some real action now. I'm not quite 20 defense, but I can't wait any longer. We have enough food to take this on. It's just a bat, right? Let's see how this goes. My god, I'm actually getting pwned right now. I need to back off and take a bite of this steak. Maybe 2 bites, actually. Yeah, let's get back in combat. So like everything retreats in this game, including these high level bats. And now I'm gonna have to go into a territory with another aggressive bat that's going to like PJ me. Look at this. And that thing is red barred, by the way. Red bars do exist in this game. He's not 0 HP. He's probably got like 2 or 3, maybe even 1 HP left. But I can't get to him because his friends keep aggressing me. Let's see if we can attack this guy. I'm gonna lose track of which one it even is here in a second, probably. There we go. Okay, we got 1 bat bone. Let's just rinse and repeat. We do have some cake as well as these steaks here, so I think it'll be enough food to get this second kill. My god, I actually almost just died from getting PJ'd, but yeah, let's eat up and go back in for the kill. On the lowest level account, we are now about to get 29 prayer. We're close to about 10 wood cutting as well. And our fletching level though is only like level 3. So this is extremely slow, but we're getting there. Only 3 more levels so I can start doing the prayer quest on this account. There he is. He exists even in classic. The myth, the man, the legend. Hopefully he has a good set of legs in this game. Okay, wow, he's got both Mithril and Addy. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy Mithril for now. I don't see myself getting 30 defense anytime soon. I actually bought a steel scimitar as well. Not a Mithril one because I'm just that poor and I'm that cheap. Now that we're getting strapped up, I might as well kill this highwayman here for his cape as well because I have yet to wield a cape in this game and that honestly looks sick. Way better than the black cape in OSRS. Oh wow, a raw chicken. I realized after looking this up on the wiki that there's actually different variants of plate bodies that you can only wear if you're the certain gender for them. I'm not a female, I can't wear this plate top, so I have to actually take it to a random dude who's got an anvil and Varrock, who's then gonna alter it for me so I can change it into a plate body. Or else I could just buy a plate body from the guy in Varrock, but of course, I didn't do that. This is so weird. It's even weirder that there's an anvil near the East Varrock Bank in this game, because that definitely does not exist in old school. Okay, we've got some pretty good defense gear. I'm going to go back to train some more defense and strength to take on Sir Mordred because that still is a very high level NPC that I'll be having to use probably a lot of food for if I can even take it down. But yeah, I'm glad I actually have some gear now to help with that. And as well, I do only have an iron kite shield from the one I picked up near Chaos Dwarves. There are no mithril kite shields or any kite shields for sale really in the shop in Falador, unfortunately. Just like there is in OSRS, it has a stock option for it, but it has 0 stock. So 2 more levels now. You don't understand. I'm only level 30, but the XP is so slow. I've been here so many hours and we're only 2 levels off of finally questing. I'm super excited to move from this spot. Yes, I'm still killing these here, and this one almost lured me into the wilderness. I had to chase it down and it was headed north past Edgeville. I've been here for 2.5 days. We're almost there. 1 more spawn. We're also about to hit 100 fatigue at just the right time because when I travel, as you know, I like to be 100% fatigued in case I retaliate something and someone else kills it and somehow ruins my account again. So I'm going to go ahead and get 100 fatigue as well as 31 prayer. I'm 23 woodcutting. I'm also about to get the 10 fletching requirement. There it is, 32, and we just got 10 fletching as well. Thank God. 2,300 arrow shafts, which should be another 23k. I'll go ahead and sell those to the guy who's buying them 10 each, and I'll get the hell out of here because I've been here way too long. I just discovered a train of people, and I'm gonna just fall in because they told me join the train or have the train ran on you. So I guess we're going for a ride on my alt account that I was killing men on for herbs and bones. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have to stall our questing plans because this is a mandatory requirement. Apparently it's to make friends. This is the most annoying imp yet because I'm doing it on my fatigued low level account. I'm killing it with 1 stats because my other account's busy running the train on people. Unfortunately, we found another imp and it's practically mandatory at this point to kill these things. So here we're gonna go on another 5-minute grind of trying to kill this while it retreats on my low level account. The train has gotten much larger. As you can see, there's probably like 20 people on it now and we're in the smack dab middle of it. Okay, it's even gotten larger and they're just going across the whole game. I've been following for about 20 minutes and Moon here, who's leading us, he is requiring us to participate. So here I am stuck in this train for God knows how long, you know. But at least I'm getting the true community experience here, like old classic. I'm obviously kidding. I'm trying to be a pessimist on purpose in these videos, so don't mind me. I do enjoy that traditional MMO experience that I was getting. It's super fun to communicate with people and, you know, just participate in global activities like that, even if it's just simply following another guy. It's super cool to see that kind of community here in the server. But while I'm doing that, I'm also able to do Restless Ghost because I don't really need an alt for this quest. The only scary, spooky part of this quest is truly going to pick up the skeleton skull and then getting attacked by a skeleton, which you have to survive 3 rounds of combat with. I feel like that won't be that bad because I think it's only like level 20 something. I'm first going to see though if I can just use this skull from the wilderness in this coffin and quest skip, but I can't. It actually seems like it does have a different ID. I was going to say, wow, it'd be so hilarious if I could go start Restless Ghost and then finish it right after with this skull from the wilderness in my inventory. But nope, I can't outsmart this server, this game today. It seems like we're going to have to walk all the way around to the Lumbridge Swamp to get the Ghost Speak Amulet. By the way, the guy's hut is literally on the other side of the Lumbridge Swamp, and there's no shortcut through the graveyard like there is in Old School. You have to walk all the way around the castle, so it is a little bit annoying, but it makes the quest seem like it's longer than it actually is. And when I said it's on the other side of the swamp, I meant they literally put it all the way east instead of west. For some reason, they moved it whenever RS2 came out. Not sure why, but yeah, they put them on this side of the swamp in Classic. Alright, it definitely seems like it is the item ID and not the step of the quest, because now is the step where I actually have to get the skull, and he's not taking this one in my inventory. Still in this train. I have found the man who buys arrow shafts. It's fine if I sell these. I don't actually need more than 10 fletching for any other quest requirement. It's one of the very low skill requirements for all the quests in this game. It looks like there's no altar in this game to search. There's just a skull on the ground, so I'm assuming when you pick this up, the guy, yeah, okay, the skeleton spawns. I'm on defensive, so he shouldn't be able to kill me. I doubt he hits that high anyways in 3 turns. So yeah, there we go. That was easy, very easy to avoid, and here we are taking our skulls out, and I don't know which one's which, but we're gonna try both of them on the gravestone. They look exactly the same, have the exact examine text, but they are different item IDs, it seems. So here's what I was talking about. Maybe you could like just AFK, sit next to the coffin for 5 minutes and 50 seconds, use the skull on it, and then as the stall is happening, you just AFK log and the XP doesn't drop on you. But I believe it would just make you either 1, repeat what you just did, or 2, it would just roll through the XP when you log back in or when you're logged out, kind of like it did with the dummy. There we got our prayer XP, which is going to put us up to level 33.5 from 32. And now we just have to do Holy Grail, then bury 2 more bones. I tried to use another skull on this. I was like, maybe I can get some more prayer XP because I do need 40, you know. But no, unfortunately, using another skull on the coffin doesn't give you a second quest reward XP. It looks like the party's finishing up, and I don't even know what building we're in. Somewhere in Falador. This definitely does not exist in Old School, but I've got the bat bones, I've got multiple bread, so we're ready to take on Merlin's Crystal, which is required for Holy Grail for that last prayer quest, and I'm going to take this alt along with the lower level account and attempt to do that quest. It might be very difficult. I know I have to wander through a fortress with many Black Knights, as well as maybe avoid them on the other account, and then I have to somehow figure out how to get the quest kill dialogue for the woman who tells you how to get Excalibur when she begs for mercy on her son. I don't know, I might be able to just do the last hit on that and maybe mage it to stay away and use my other account as a blocker once it's taken down its HP. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out though. Alright, the 2 accounts meet once again. Now I can only trade 12 items at a time in Classic, but I'm going to be trading over all of my low tier herbs I've got from Min, because once again, eventually I'm going to need to get 45 herb lore for Legends Quest way down the road. 45 herb law, sorry, herb law, not herb lore. Once again, herb law. Okay, we're near quest start. We're about to start Merlin's Crystal. I got some combat gear, some food on both accounts. A friend loaned us some food, so we can definitely take on this quest. He didn't give us much though, to be honest. We might run out. This friend is the same one who I convinced to start playing this game, who has somehow surpassed me now in combat and almost wealth. He started getting beads for me. We now have a set of beads to complete Imp Catcher on the account. As well, he gave me this awesome Myth 2H, as I found out this Iron Kite Shield's pretty much useless anyways, and 2Hs have the same attack speed. Every weapon has the same attack speed in this game, so not having a shield, well, it's going to be best to use a 2H. So we now have black, red, white, and yellow beads. We're ready to do Imp Catcher later on, but for now, let's focus on Merlin's Crystal. I can't even quest at the same time. The NPC is busy. I'm trying to talk to this guy and he has the longest dialogue and I have to wait my turn. Once again, the NPCs in this game and how they work is just hilarious. Okay, this is the weirdest mechanic ever. This is technically a solo quest, but you need to do this with 2 accounts because you need 1 account to distract the guy and talk to him while you stow away on his ship here. And it works because I have 2 accounts, but how am I going to get the next one over there without another person to help me back to the fortress on that account? And oh my god, there's already Black Knights all around me. I'm just going to log out. Yeah, screw that. Buying friends, 10k each. Can somebody please help me? I've been sitting here for a while now just trying to stow away on this ship, and It does not work. There's no place you can set this NPC to where I can get on the ship. He always sees you. So you literally do need another person here just to talk to him, to distract him and make him busy. So I'm sure, like I did with the stalls earlier, other people have realized this and done the same thing. I'm sure people know the busy mechanics of NPCs because it's literally implemented in some quests as mandatory requirements. Oh my gosh, there he is, my savior, Navi. Please help me. Please talk to this guy so I can continue this quest. I've been sitting here for 10 minutes. He's doing it. Thank God. Oh, he's going to help me out. Bless you. Bless you, sir. Alright, I don't know what's happening next. I need to get ready to log in and maybe try and lure away some of these Black Knights so my low level account can get through these. Even just getting to Sir Mordred at the top floor, if there is 3 floors in this thing, is going to be difficult. They're everywhere, literally. Yeah, I got into combat with one before even going up the first set of stairs. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this on the level 3, I guess, or level 7, sorry. I guess just very carefully. We made it up to the second stairs here on this account, and we're fine, but we have stats on this account. We don't have stats on the other account, so that's what I'm worried about. Alright, I scouted the floor out. I've logged back in. I think this is my chance. If I can just walk fast enough. I can't run. If I can just walk fast enough up these stairs, there we go. We're safe for now. Now we have to figure out how to get up the second set of stairs without getting in combat and possibly getting 3 hit. Okay, we got into combat on that account. Alright, Sir Mordred's up here. It looks like he's not aggressive, thank God, or else this would be a very bad decision to go up here like this. But we've made it, and we're in the boss room now. Alright, I've literally gone through a whole inventory of food already on my other account. I killed it on accident the first time and summoned the woman on the other account. I tried to talk to it on this one, but it wouldn't register. She wasn't interested in talking to me. So it knows it's not my NPC, it's my other account's NPC. So I'm dropping more trout to my account here to kill it again, get it maybe down to the last HP, and then try to finish it off. I don't know how I'm going to finish it off though, because it has some crazy defense. Look at that. I'm just hitting constant zeros on this thing, and I'm 20 attack, 25 strength. I'm constantly having to retreat and eat more food and then get back into combat with this guy. I don't know if I can hit the last hit, and especially time retreating off this NPC with it having such few HP before I accidentally kill it. Also, think about this. This guy hits 6s, so he can easily 3-hit 10 HP, and then if I get unlucky, or actually probably just normal luck, he'll kill me. I'll have to run all the way back through the wilderness or take a boat to Artie, then walk all the way back here and attempt to hit him again with my very low stats and his very high defense. I think I'm absolutely going to need magic for this, so I'm going to drop this trout over. I'm going to let my account take it down to almost death again, and then I'm going to go bank and try and get back up here without dying somehow every single time and get some magic gear and maybe mage behind this account and see if using it as a blocker even works in this version. I don't even know if you can block NPCs. I've never done it. Apparently people say you can, but I'm not sure how it works, if I need to be in combat with it first to aggress it or something weird like that and still have to take 3 hits of damage. We're gonna find out though, and I'm constantly still retreating and eating food on my higher level account that can barely even take this thing down at all. Change of plans. I'm going to go bank on my high level account so I don't have to risk coming down here and dying with all of my necessary gear that I have on the low level account. Alright, I've managed to pull out some runes from my bank, and these are just the few I had from killing goblins. I've traded them over to Monkey Cape, my low level account here. Hopefully that's enough. I don't know this NPC's mage defense. I don't even know if NPCs have magic defense in this game, and that's why I'm also trading over all of my very high level gear to my higher level account in case I end up dying whenever I throw an airstrike on that NPC, because I don't want to have to get that back. So we have to time this perfectly. We have to get off of him, and then we have to retreat if we can. Almost we couldn't. We could have just killed him right there because we need to survive 3 rounds of combat and you auto retaliate automatically. But I'm blocking him now with my other account, which seems like it's working. And I found out just now, if you fail a cast, like if you technically splash in this game, you have to wait 20 seconds before you throw another cast. So this is going to be a long kill. And although it looks like Sir Mordred has just a sliver of HP left right there, trust me, he probably does not. He has a lot of HP the last few times I've killed him on accident. We're actually going to hopefully do this time and get the wind strike off once the magic timer goes away, and if I can stop failing these mage casts and hit a few airstrikes in a row. Probably like 7 airstrikes in a row is what it's going to take to kill this guy. I'm almost out of mind ruins. I'm gonna have to buy some more maybe, but he's red barred. This should be it. Oh my god, what just happened? Do I have to go into 3 phases of combat with this guy? Please, sir. He max hit me. He actually just max hit me on the last hit and killed me. Do I really have to survive 3 rounds of combat with that guy to talk to his mom? The mom's gonna despawn before I can even get back there too. I literally cannot go finish this quest. And now I'm literally having to compete with an unresponsive bot here to buy mind runes out of the shop because he's buying them all up. So I'm gonna have to sit here and buy one at a time for God knows how long just to get some wind strikes off. Alright, the struggle actually continues. Somehow it continues, it keeps going. I've managed to lower his HP down again for another attempt, but not all the way. I ran out of food, and I have no food on my other low-level account here either. I've ran out of food completely in both banks, besides cups of tea and like 5 pieces of real food. So I guess that's what we're resorting to. We're going to have to sneak by Black Knights and finish off Sir Mordred with cups of tea and like 3 pieces of food. Let's do it, I guess. I'm literally drinking tea right now, but it's working somehow. I think we're gonna be able to get at least 1 shot at this boss. We've already got him down half HP really quick, quicker than normal. I accidentally, did summon him again earlier, so unfortunately I could not utilize his already low HP, and now we're ending up having to use more food than I even expected. Sir Mordred is a bitch, yo. He's going down as well. As long as I don't have to wait another 20 seconds here and get a few shots off with magic. Wow, I'm actually not having to wait 20 seconds for once. Wow, I'm actually doing it. What? He didn't even come attack me? I can just talk to this woman? Oh, I bet you she spawned somehow in my account's body the last time and made him transparent, and then the fool just came at me and just 3-hit me. I even got iron armor this time for this, but I didn't even need it. Whatever, it's done. Finally, Sir Mordred, you have been not killed, but almost killed, and your mother saved you. And now we can continue on to finishing Merlin's Crystal, hopefully. Actually, I realized I should probably finish this quest as well because I'll need this account at Holy Grail to block again. You can actually switch between a defensive and aggressive based on the turns and the ticks, and it does work. I did drop some teas over, so I do have the last of my food literally in my entire bank right now, in both banks in my inventory, and I think we can take down Sir Mordred. I'm getting some good hits off, and once this is finished, then we'll have to somehow escape out of this building and survive on both accounts then too. Okay, both accounts have defeated the Black Knight. Now I just got to get out of here and somehow survive, especially on the low combat account. And oh my god, I mistimed that stair step and we're getting attacked. I just got hit for 5. I have 1 HP. I better sip these teas as fast as possible. This is actually frightening. I'm going to go down this way. Oh my god, we're in combat again. This guy is standing in front of the escape ladder. I literally cannot leave. Please move, sir. Okay, well, I guess we're just dying. I guess we're just going to Lumbridge, and I'm just going to pick up my crap on my other account. That is, if I can survive on my other account. I'm getting chanced here as well. Let's see if I rotate the camera. Oh, then he rotates with me. So that's how you do it, boys and girls. You rotate the NPC out of your way somehow. I don't know if that's supposed to be how it works or what the hell just happened, but it worked, and we survived with 5 hit points and literally no food. And our other account, though, is dead in Lumbridge. Sorry. I did pick up its gear, though. Hat there is OP. I'm gonna need that back. It's +4 magic bonus, actually. It's literally like the best thing you can wear for magic bonus on your head in the entire game. Okay, this is much more relaxing. We're using insect repellent and collecting buckets of wax for beehives now in this quest. I love how the rest of this quest is just like piss easy. We're making a pit stop before this time using the boat to get to Brimhaven to then get to the Lady of the Lake. But first, my friend has some more beads for me for my other account. That completes 2 sets of beads, and this means I can do Imp Catcher now on both accounts whenever the time comes. I'll probably do that before Holy Grail to get some magic XP and possibly be able to use Water Strike on the Black Knight Titan, because obviously Water Strike's better than Air Strike, and we need magic anyways for some of these quests. Okay, after this chat dialogue with the Lady of the Lake, I should get the opportunity to get the Excalibur and Port Sarim from the beggar, but if I want another one, I found out the wiki is wrong. I do have to go back to her, drop my Excalibur, then talk to her again, then go back to Port Sarim with another piece of bread. I can't just keep dropping a piece of bread and opening the door in Port Sarim for multiple Excaliburs. I have to go between the 2 and make the long trek between them to get multiple. So I'll probably just get 2 Excaliburs for now in case I die with one while facing the Black Knight Titan, and I don't want to have to come all the way back here. Alright, we got the Excalibur on our low level account, and there is no 20 attack requirement like I thought to wield this. I'm 0 attack XP wielding an Excalibur, something you can only do in Classic, which is also amazing because this means I can do Holy Grail and defeat the Black Knight Titan without the 20 attack requirement, which also means I don't have to do a bunch of attack quests today. I can just go forward into the prayer quest of Holy Grail after this. So we got 2 Excaliburs, but we made a wrong turn. I went all the way from the Brimhaven boat to Artie, to Camelot, to then realize I needed to search a Chaos Altar in the RuneScape Classic version of this quest. I did not know that was a thing, but apparently in RuneScape Classic, you have to go to the Chaos Temple. So I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm taking my entire inventory out here. We're pulling the Artie lever, and we're going to walk to the Chaos Altar in like 16 Wilderness with both accounts. You have to get the incantation off of that altar in order to get to the last step of the quest where you summon the demon and ask him how to break Merlin free from his crystal. The only good thing about this I've realized is for some reason there's no Monks of Zamorak in this area of the wilderness in Classic. I was afraid on this low level account I would come into combat with those and possibly die and lose everything out here, but nope, there's no NPCs. We're fine to just search the altar for the incantation. I've summoned the demon, I've banished the demon, I've unlocked Merlin from his crystal with my 1 attack Excalibur, and now I am a knight. We have completed Merlin's crystal. It took a lot longer than I expected, literally a half day to complete this quest, from going and forgetting things to finding out there's more steps in this quest than there is in the old school version. It's been a great adventure, and now we must start the final one for today, and that is Holy Grail, taking on the Black Knight Titan, getting 37 prayer from this quest, and finally having the ability to use Paralyzed Monster, which is going to make our time getting the lowest level quest done by the very best possible means. Just taking a nice stroll, 2 of the best friends on the train tracks. Before we continue on into Holy Grail quest, like I said, I do want to get some magic XP so I can water strike the Black Knight Titan. I'm assuming I can just block the Black Knight Titan and hopefully kill him with the Excalibur equipped, but not in melee combat with him, because there's no way I'm going to hit on that thing with my 1 stats, even with Excalibur. That's just not going to be possible. As well, he hits 15s. So not only can he 3 hit me, he can literally 1 hit me. So we're going to be looking for the opportunity here to just take down his whole HP with magic, and I don't have good magic on any account, so I might as well just use one of the accounts, actually the high level one, as a blocker, and take down the entirety of his HP with magic. So I'm going to go to Witch's Potions quest, then Imp Catcher to maximize my magic XP. I believe these 2 together in that order specifically because there's multipliers with the levels once again for these quests should put me at the highest possible mage from those 2 quests. I need to get 56 anyways, I believe, towards the end of this goal, because Family Crest and Legends quest require 56 and 59, which you can boost with a Wizard's Mind Bond. That's going to be the highest magic I can get, but we're not even close to that. We're literally 1 magic. So let's go ahead and burn this meat. I have all the supplies for the quest on both accounts. I already actually have 1 piece of burnt meat from an imp that I put in my bank for this quest because I killed so many of those damn things. You know how I possibly talked about testing doing stalls and then AFK logging out in the middle of them? Well, I want to see if I have to redo the stall or if it'll complete the quest without the XP. Maybe I can get quests done without XP rewards. I don't know. Let's see if this works. The quest list shows the quest isn't done yet, and I have not gotten magic XP, so it looks like this is not going to work once again. I will have to take XP on quest. I can't just AFK log out and break the stalls. And there we go, the Witch's Potion is completed. Alright, 3 magic from Witch's Potion. This Imp Catcher quest I have the beads for should get us to 8 magic. So I did maximize my magic XP from those 2 quests. The only other quest that gives magic XP, I believe, is Watchtower quest, but I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon. And I really can't be asked to go train magic and buy more ruins to do so. I'm 100 fatigued for a reason, because I'm about to go through Poison Scorpions and auto-retaliate a lot of stuff, and I don't want to get XP and fail this account. I don't want to under-fatigue myself again. There's the magic XP. By the way, fatigue doesn't kill quest XP. That was another idea I had. It didn't work, obviously. I've gotten a lot of quest XP with 100 fatigue, that being one of them right there. But I think there is a specific quest, being Biohazard, that you do not get thieving XP on if you are fatigued. So I was just thinking, well, I wonder if any other quest is that way, and I'm just gonna do them all while I'm fatigued to just see what happens. So now that we can water strike, I did buy some runes, once again competing with bots, or someone who's like AFK and sitting there and buying out all the mind runes. But I did get a few to hopefully get like 70 cast on the Black Knight Titan. I don't know what Water Strike actually maxes in this game, but yeah, we're continuing the Holy Grail quest, and we'll see once we get to the Black Knight Titan if what I bought was sufficient enough. But first, we have to get to the Black Knight Titan, and we have to make our way through the poisonous scorpions in Karamja to use this whistle here. Unfortunately, I only have 3 cure poisons left. Hopefully that should be enough to get past this part of the quest. I do have to come back here one more time at the end, so it's going to be a little tricky to get here, but once we're there, I believe I can block and safe spot the Titan. I'm not sure. I've somehow tank tested like 4 attacks from scorpions. Can somebody please help? My whistle is not working in this location. After sitting here for 5 minutes and getting attacked by scorpions and almost dying and looking like a complete idiot, I figured out the only thing that was wrong was I was 1 singular tile off, and only 1 tile works for blowing the whistle. Unfortunately, I was not on that tile till now. We've made it to the Fisher Realm. Let's see if we can take down the Black Knight Titan with only Water Strike. Sometimes using a staff, but definitely for the last hit, equipping Excalibur for that Water Strike cast. Alright, does it work? Does blocking work here? Is the Black Knight Titan just going to come through my body and one hit me? Oh my gosh, he's not. The blocking does work. Now we just have to see how effective Water Strike is on this guy. I can hit 1s at least. Can I hit more than a 1? I can hit a 2. Water Strike can hit a 2. I bet it just maxes a 2 in this game, because Windstrike only maxed a 1, not a 2 like it did in old school. Yeah, another 2. Luckily, it looks like this guy has no magic defense. Once again, I don't know if any NPC in this game has magic defense because they don't have a magic level on the wiki. I'm easily able to cast on him. That's one good thing. The unfortunate thing though is I only max 2s, and this guy has about 150 health, so we're going to be lacking likely on mines unless we somehow just hit a 2 every single hit with all of the mines we have. So at one point, I'm probably just going to get his HP down. He has normal regen, so then I can leave, go to Port Sarim, compete with the bots, maybe buy some more mind runes, and then come back and finish him off with the Excalibur while casting the Water Strike again. And also, I am fatigued. I could be getting magic XP with no HP XP on every strike, but I am fatigued for a reason, and that's because once again, I do have to come through all the poisonous scorpions and auto-retaliate them, and I don't want someone else killing those and ruining my account, so I'm staying at 100 fatigue anytime I have to route myself somewhere around other NPCs, even if I could be getting some fat magic XP, which I really could be right now with all these mind ruins on this Black Knight Titan. Alright, we're back here. I have over 100 casts of Water Strike. I'm still blocking the Titan. He should be just a little bit above half HP now. He probably regened a little bit, but I should be able to easily finish him off because he's not full HP. And once again, we have over 100 casts. And yes, this is going to take a while because we're using Water Strike and our max hit is a 2. And this guy's got like 70 health left, so bear with me here. I don't have to hopefully be in close combat with the Excalibur, or else that is just going to make my life a living hell. Alright, let's throw on the Excalibur now. He's getting close to having no health left, even though he probably still does have a lot because these NPCs, they red bar and their HP bar is a little bit janky. But I think we should finish him off real soon, and I'm pretty sure this works in old school, so I'm thinking if somehow this is fixed in classic but not old school, and they had better technology in 2003 than they do now in 2024, then I'm going to be very surprised. This is looking very frightening. I've failed the hit now. That's 3 times in a row when it looks like he should be dead. So maybe they've like fixed magic in classic with the spell just never going off. Let's hope I'm just getting extremely unlucky though, and that this next cast or one of the few will actually kill this guy. Okay. I hit a 0. It did go off though, and we hit a 1. Okay, it's still working. This should possibly get us through. We're still able to hit on this NPC. I really thought there was some kind of patch there. Oh my god, we actually made it through. And you teleport to the other side just like you do in old school, like I've done with this quest many times testing it. That was by far the hardest part. Now we just have to go find the new Fisher King and return him here and then talk to him, then take back the Holy Grail. That was honestly not bad at all. I thought it would be a lot worse. I wanted to test another manip here as a backup plan if the Excalibur wasn't wieldable at 1 attack to avoid the 20 attack Rick on this quest, and I'm going to do it by testing it actually on the higher level account that hasn't yet completed this section of the quest. I'm going to try and talk to the knight that pops out of the sack here on my higher level alt and see if I can just quest step skip into the ending part of this quest. It looks like though on my other client here, I'm not able to talk to the knight and it just says nothing interesting happens. He doesn't even give me a dialogue at all, unlike the one in old school RuneScape, which I know this didn't work in old school, but I wanted to see if it just worked in classic. And even in classic, there's fail safes like this in place to make sure you don't skip any quest steps and that you have to do every quest step in place, at least for most quests, unlike the Firmenich Trials, for instance. But hey, Firmenich Trials doesn't even exist in this version of the game yet. Alright, we've got the Fisher King's son in charge now, and we just have to take the Holy Grail back to King Ratbeard.
Actually, it in Dragon Slayer are equal.
Okay.
Well, it is actually less than Dragon Slayer by. In your case, it'll be Dragon Slayer is 350 more XP.
So I was just on a call, returning to complete the last step of the Holy Grail quest, and I realized something while talking to this person, who is the person I recruited to play this classic server with me, and helped me with the beads, by the way. He told me Holy Grail gives defense XP. I don't even know how this didn't cross my mind. It gives defense XP in old school, but it also gives defense XP in this game. And do you know what that means? I have to look at the multiplier of this quest in terms of defense XP, and in terms of which order I should do this quest as a defense rewarding quest. There was actually one more quest that gives defense XP in the game that I can possibly do before this quest, which is Dragon Slayer. And at this point, he confused the hell out of me because he said, I believe you need to do Dragon Slayer before you do Holy Grail. But then we looked into it. You needed to do Holy Grail actually before Dragon Slayer. So I didn't really know what was going on at this point, and I thought you had to do this the other way around. So yeah, I took my ass all the way back to the Boneyard and stood there for 2 days to get 33 to 37 prayer before then finishing Holy Grail quest, which I really should not have done because now I'm getting 39 prayer instead of 37 prayer, but we still need 40 prayer anyways for a 40+2 requirement from the Legends quest, which is a necessary requirement. It's one you can definitely not bypass. So it's not like we made that big of a mistake. We just took an early turn to the Boneyard and wasted more time there. Unfortunately, that turn took an extra 2 days, but yeah, that's just how it works out. So we're gonna have to organize this all into like priority in an Excel sheet. I really should have done something like this already, but I didn't. If I did end up doing Dragon Slayer first, I would be 20 defense instead of 17 defense, and that is a difference in combat at the very end goal. Being 38 combat as the lowest possible combat, I believe an account in RuneScape Classic can get a Legends Cape. Even that is taking into consideration getting 30 strength with no HP XP, using something as complicated as like fatigue training, which is literally sitting there and opening a sleeping bag, putting your fatigue down a little bit, typing in the captcha code as fast as you possibly can, then doing something like fletching to get your fatigue back up to 99%, killing a monster so it then only drops strength before the HP because hit points always comes after the other combat XP, and therefore you'll only get the strength XP and the HP XP inside the monster drop will be fatigued. Fatigue training sounds like hell. There might be an alternative. There's already one I'm looking into that won't be as bad as fatigue training, that can train strength in RuneScape Classic without HP, but it doesn't work in old school. This game has so many niche and unique things to it that it's going to open up a whole new opportunity and a whole new landscape of ideas I've never even had the chance of committing to. So I hope we make it past episode 1. I hope this video gets views. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I know it's a long one, but this took a lot longer than what you saw here today. Even though it looks like not a lot of account progression, the entire journey on Classic is a slow one, but once again, a unique one, and it has a very wholesome, nice, small community based around it, which I'm sure now will grow to a toxic one thanks to some of you all. I hope to see you next time. I have a Defense Saga series video coming out within about a week. After that, I plan on making more RuneScape Classic episodes if this does take off, as well, of course, more Defense Saga episodes in the future. Thank you all. If you enjoyed today's video, if you enjoy my videos in general, please leave this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to my Patreon supporters as well, and I'll see you all next time. Also, don't forget to use my Raid Shadow Legends link in the description or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses for new players with an epic champion.